Okay, so question here from viewer 60. So if I were to open a project I'm currently working on in 2015, or open that into version 2017, will all the styles and settings be available as they were before? So what changes, if any, would I need to make to the SketchUp 2017 preferences to line everything up? So the good news is, if you open a model, like if you open a model that's built in 2015 and you do fire that up in 2017, it's very likely going to tell you like, hey, you know, this was built in a previous version of SketchUp, and let's see, let me open desktop temp. So it would tell you this was built in a previous version of SketchUp, so you can always save it back. So that's maybe one point that I would make on this question is you can always go to File and choose Save As, and then kick it back to a different version. So here you can see you can go all the way back to SketchUp version 3. So you always have the ability to save it back and get back out of there. Now, some things that I ran across with saving things back was primarily in layout, and it had to do with like exploding groups automatically. If a feature didn't exist in a previous version of SketchUp, then you would like something like dynamic components. I don't know if that would travel back and then come forward again. But anyway, that's not exactly what you're asking. You're saying, will all the styles and settings be available as they were before? So in your model, all of these styles, like if I look at this model itself, you know, these are the materials that are in the model. If I go to styles and look at the in model collection, these are the styles that are in this model. Nothing's changed with that. All of those in model styles and materials and components, all of these guys travel with the model. So it's part of the file size. So you shouldn't have a problem with that. The only issue you're going to have is like when you go to like open a material collection, which if I click here, I can still open or create a collection and then go to like Dropbox, resources, materials, and say select folder. All right, well then I would need to make sure I add that collection to favorites. Yeah, that's fine. We'll say select folder. Okay, so that way every time I click on this drop down, I get my materials. So you're going to have to set up all of those paths, and that's where I'm not 100% sure what this window preferences files is doing. So like I think this is a starting point. Like when you set these, this is like where it begins the search. So like I used to make sure that like my models tab, I like to put that to be like Dropbox, Brightman Designs, projects. Let me just do projects, and let's see. Oh, I hit open file location. I want to edit that for models, so I want to change that. So I need to go to Dropbox, Brightman Designs, projects, select folder. Okay. Now what that means is that every time I go to file and choose open, it's starting in Brightman Designs projects. That's actually a kind of a big deal. I mean, to not have to sort through all that stuff every single time is kind of nice. So I don't know exactly what this window preferences files is doing for something like materials. I don't know if it's like when you hit file import as material, you know, it's going to start in a different place, or if that's actually going to move some of your favorites collections over. I'd have to kind of tinker with that to know the answer. But either way, it's no big deal to set up those guys in there in each one of your material, style, and component browsers. Okay, so just to give a nice, clean, concise answer to your question is that all of your styles and components and materials will travel with your model. You would need to path in 2017. You are going to need to path your collections to your browsers. So shouldn't be too bad though.